What up, guys? What up, guys? Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my YouTube channel as Freedom and Pips. Please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so to subscribe to our channel on the link below. Freedom and Pips Academy, where we share free trading course for beginners. So today, we want to talk about Trendline, how to draw Trendline and how to trade them. Then we're gonna do a backtesting. I'm gonna use the replay tools. I'm gonna use two time frame, the monthly time frame and the daily time frame. So the reason why I'm using the monthly time frame is gonna be I'm gonna make the monthly time frame my higher time frame, while the daily time frame my entry time frame. So I'm gonna quickly do a quick replay. Okay. So you guys can see this is the monthly chart. So in order to have a perfect trend line, as you can see on the monthly time frame, which is our higher time frame, you can see we have the first touch, the second touch. So in the future, if we're gonna have a third touch in the future, we're gonna look for a trading opportunity at this level. So you guys can see we have the first touch already. So what we are expecting is for price to give us a third touch at this trend line. We need to see something like this. So now we're gonna wait. Let me play. Okay. Still gonna wait. Let's give it a quick play out. Okay, guys, we have it. We have a touch. We have a third touch. Let me take this off. We have a third touch at this point. So what we're gonna do? You just drop to your daily time frame. You look for the recent lower high. This was the recent lower high. As you guys can see, that was the recent lower high. The price closed with a strong bullish candle above. So you wait for a pullback into this Fibonacci level. Then you take a buy. The stop loss will be below. Remember, this is the third touch. That's the third touch. This is the second touch. That's the second touch. Yep. This is the first touch. So if you watch the last video I did about Trendline, the first touch, the second touch is not really confirmed to be a strong trend line until we have this third touch. As you guys can see, this was not a touch of the trend line. This is the main third touch of the trend line, and we have a shift in momentum. We have a shift in structure. So this will be my first level target, and this will be my second level target, which is the last level target. So I'm gonna just play this out real quick for you guys to see what's gonna happen after we had a touch at the trend line. You guys see how the market explodes. Yep, just like that. This will be your entry at this FVG, at this fair value gap. This is just a backtesting, just for educational purpose, just to show you how to trade the trend line and how to be able to draw a trend line. So right now, anything above this trend line, what's going on with you guys? So right now, anything above this trend line, we're gonna be looking for buys only. So now we're gonna drop down to our M. So as you can see, we are a fair value gap right here on our higher time frame. We just need to wait for market to tap in the fair value gap. Then we drop down to our daily time frame. So as you can see on the daily time frame, we had the daily FVG at this point. We're gonna look very closely at that because it might drop this price back down again. As you guys can see, the daily FVG is doing its job. Yep. So we have a new FVG right here. So we just want to see the FVG got taken out. Yeah, we have another FVG right here that was tapped already. So if price close strong above this level, then we're gonna look for a buy at that level. As you guys can see, we had a break of structure on the 4 hour. This should be a break of structure on the 4 hour. You see, so this would have been my entry, and this would have been my take profit. Let's see how it's gonna play out today. Love me. So as you guys can see, CP hits. On the daily, you can see we have a trend line also on the daily. You guys can see. If you guys can see, we have the daily trend line. So in the future, if market ever pull back to this point, we're gonna be looking for buyers at this point. So let's move back to the higher time frame. So as you guys can see, you just need to take this one out. This is the FVG we just traded. So we just need to look at the higher time frame. What do we have? So you guys can see we have an imbalance right here. We have an imbalance right here. So we just need to wait for market to tap in the imbalance. No, we have a new imbalance right here. We have a new imbalance right here. So since we don't trade just imbalance, we're gonna wait for price to get to our trend line. Then as you guys can see, we have a touch at this trend line. We have a touch at the trend line I marked on my daily time frame. And I'm not gonna force that. Let me just keep it simple. We don't have a touch yet, so we just need to wait to see what's gonna happen. Now we have a touch. As you guys can see, we have a third touch. So now if you want to check, this should be the 1, the 2, and the third touch. So if you drop down to your daily, the same thing again. This was the recent high. I took out this low. we had an FVG right here. But at this point, I wouldn't say that buyers are fully in charge based on, okay, we just broke out from the counter trend line. Let's see if we're gonna head back to this point. Yep. So as you guys can see, just using the same trend line, the first touch. Let me just label this real quick. I'm gonna use this like first touch. So this is the second touch. I'm gonna do that very well. Yeah. The second touch and the third touch. You guys can see how the third touch is always buyers tend to step in a lot at the third touch, defending this trend line. So this, you can call this a counter trend line. Let me mark it with red. You can call this a counter trend. Why? Because it's a trend that counter the overall trend. This is a pullback. The trend was bullish on the monthly, so this was the monthly pullback. So I just came in with this counter trend line. For those of you that trade pullback, you know what I'm talking about. So we had a third touch. This is our confirmation. First confirmation, here. Second confirmation, price took out the recent lower high, and we had the daily value gap right there. This would have been a very clean A plus setup, but our stop loss would have been a little bit wider, since what we are looking for is going to be 1:3. Yep. So that's how to trade the trend line. So that's how to trade the trend line, the third touch of the trend line. And I hope you find this video interesting. If you don't understand anything, just drop a comment on any video you want me to do next, and I'm gonna do it for you. See you guys in my next video.